Hi everyone and welcome to your 20-minute yin practice. This is a perfect one to do maybe before going to bed or after a long day at work. It's a real nice one to kind of like relax and restore at the end of the day. If you haven't practiced yin before we get started, you might want to grab hold of some props, cushions, blankets. So in yin we hold poses for slightly longer than you might be used to if you're used to practicing vinyasa. So yeah, you might want to grab hold of any extra layers, maybe a jumper, anything to keep you kind of like warm and cozy whilst we practice. We're going to start just by grounding for a couple of minutes. So either coming to a cross-legged position, or if you've got a bolster, you might like to sit up on top of the bolster. Your decision, whichever feels most comfortable for you. So we're going to start with our eyes closed, and either taking hands down onto the knees, so kind of that idea of grounding down, or maybe taking one hand even onto the heart space and another hand on top. So when you're ready, just closing down through the eyes and really allowing the body to relax. If you're in seated, you might like to drop the chin down and just starting to take that awareness, that attention into the breath. So just noticing as we start the practice how the breath is feeling. Just asking that question. And there's no judgment here, so we're just welcoming the breath in exactly as it is. So is the breath long? Is it short? Maybe it's deep, going down towards the belly. Maybe it's residing a little higher up in the chest. So wherever that breath is, just allowing it to be natural. And we're going to be working today with this idea of ahimsa, so kindness towards the body. So working with that idea of softening. Really easing in, allowing ourselves to find that release. So in a traditional vinyasa practice, we engage through the muscles. Everything is normally very switched on. And with yin, we're just allowing everything to soften. So you might work with that as a sankalpa today. I will soften. I will find that ease. Letting go of any hardness, any extra effort. So just taking a releasing breath now, breathing in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Maybe taking another in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And we're going to start to work into our first asana. So we're going to come into a forward fold. So from cross-legged, it might be that you simply start to walk the hands forwards. And then you allow the head to drop, so you're finding that support. If you're up on a bolster, it might be that you come into kind of a child's pose over the bolster, so you kind of allow your body to kind of drape over if you're in kneeling. But wherever we are, we want to find that softness, so it's kind of like that middle ground. So you might grab hold of a pillow or a blanket or a bolster. You really want to grab hold of something to give you that support. So for example, here, as I'm coming down, using the hands either side, I'm finding that support for my head on the pillow. So just allowing the body to feel supported. And don't shy away from using props. So as we get here again, you can keep the eyes closed. Just starting to notice sensations. So where are you feeling that forward fold? Maybe it's through the glutes, through the quads. Just allowing the mind to focus on the sensations within the body. And it's quite normal in yin practice for the mind to become busy. So as soon as we start to slow the body, the mind can start wandering. And today maybe you just allow the mind to wander slightly. Allow whatever is coming up to be explored. Knowing that you always have that capability to just come back to that breath, focusing on the inhale and the exhale. You might choose to scan over the body quickly. So just noticing if there's anywhere that feels like it's switched on, any muscles that feel like they're working hard. Just see if you can actively let go that little bit more. Body melting down, finding that support of the props. So from here, just slowly starting to ease out. And still keep those eyes closed if you need, so just using those hands to help you. Moving any props out of the way that you might have. You might choose to kind of have a blanket around the shoulders at this point, something to keep you a little bit warmer. And just starting by dropping that head down, so chin towards the chest. Taking the hands, fingertips, just to the back of the shoulders. And with the eyes closed, just giving the shoulders a squeeze. So just running fingertips over the skin, maybe up into the neck, towards the scalp. And just taking a second to check in with how the body's feeling here. So allowing yourself to just drop into sensation. So not too long, just a second to be in tune. Be in tune with the body, so giving those shoulders a squeeze. And then releasing as we start to bring the head forwards, chin starts to lift again. Just taking the right hand behind you and taking the left hand towards the right knee. As we inhale, just lifting slightly. And as we exhale, finding a twist, but making it a super gentle one. So don't feel like you're pulling, dragging. And traditionally we take that head back, take the drishti to the back of the mat. But today, just allowing that head to be forwards and allowing the chin to rest towards the head again. So we're just softening into that twist. We're not taking anything too harshly. And again, just pausing here with that breath. Just around another 30 seconds here. One more inhale. As we exhale, just starting to move that right hand first, then left hand slides off. And taking it around to the other side. So left hand goes behind you, right hand to the left knee. Again, taking an inhale to just get that little bit of length. So we exhale, finding that twist, but again, making it soft and then allowing the head to drop back to the front, chin down to chest. Softening into that twist. There's no hardness here. So taking just one more big breath in And as we release that breath again, just slowly easing out, allowing those hands to just slide off the knee, that hand at the back to slide back round. And we're going to come into a half butterfly. So we want to take the right leg out long and just take the sole of the left foot in towards the right thigh. So again, normally in a vinyasa practice, this would be a Janu Shasana, and we'd keep that front foot flexed. So you want to just find that release of the front foot. So just maybe give it a wiggle, allow it to fall where it may. And facing over the leg, we're then going to inhale. And as we exhale, start to fold forwards. So just taking the hands down either side of the leg. And again, when you get here, just releasing that chin down. So only going as far as feels comfortable. Again, you might take that support again. So you might take a pillow on top of the knee, something to support the head. Closing down through the eyes. And just allowing everything to let go. So again, notice if there's any tendency to want or to need to kind of straighten, to engage through the muscles. You might take a slight micro bend through the knee, which will help just releasing. You can allow the back to round here. And it just may be coming back to that Sankalpa. So the eye will soften, really allowing everything to melt down. Again, we're going to be here slightly longer, but we're already about halfway through. Just 30 seconds left, so maybe now is the moment where you ease in or you ease out. So it's all about finding that sweet spot, the spot that's neither too much nor too little. As we inhale, just coming up, again using those hands to help you. And then just switching over the legs. So you might take a swivel with that right foot. And then just taking the left leg out long, sole of the right foot in towards the left thigh. Again, taking a wiggle of that left foot and just allowing it to flop. Instead of engaging, we're allowing it to flop down. Taking an inhale to breathe in, and then as we exhale, just coming into that half butterfly. It might be that the hands rest on the leg, that the hands rest to either side. There's no right or wrong here. Again, allowing that chin to drop, maybe taking that micro bend through the knee. Allowing the back to round. Just staying with that breath. And again, really being aware of sensations here. So it might feel like a small pull through the back of the hamstrings. Again, around halfway through. So is this the moment to soften in? Or maybe it's the moment to grab hold of a prop to find that support. Next inhale, slowly peeling the body away. Using those hands again to help, taking some circles of that ankle. And then we're going to come into a rebound. So option to just lie down directly on the back, or maybe even to take the knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around and just take the head down onto the knees. So your rebound can be anywhere that feels restorative for you, anywhere that feels like the body isn't working. So it's best with these rebounds to really listen to your intuition. Really ask yourself that question, where does the body want to go? And taking yourself there, so always listening. Taking just one more inhale. As we exhale, starting to peel away from wherever we are. And we're going to come in to a reclined butterfly. So we want to take soles of the feet together. And then we're going to allow the back to come down. So my suggestion would be, if you've got a pillow, if you've got a bolster, pop it behind you. If you haven't got a bolster, maybe prop a couple of pillows. And we're just going to take the back so that the upper back just reclines onto the bolster. You allow the head to fall back as well, allow the knees to be wide open. You might want to grab a blanket here to pop over the legs. And just allowing the hands to fall wherever feels natural. So it might be down by the sides, it might be on the thighs, maybe on the heart space. And just seeing if whilst here you can allow that breath as you breathe in to fill through the chest. And again, just allowing everything to release. Staying with that breath. And you can always readjust and move. So you don't need to stay exactly where you are, even though we're holding these poses for a little bit longer. If anything ever feels strange, if there are ever any niggles in the body, just allow yourself that movement to find the right spot. Seeing if you can just imagine the body melting down into that support. If there's any tension anywhere in the body, just seeing if you can use that breath to let go. So as we inhale, just noticing where that tension may be. Those small niggles that we all have, maybe it's in the usual places, in the neck, in the upper back. Maybe it's a little bit more sneaky, maybe that tension is in the belly, in the hips. And as we breathe, just noticing where that tension may be. As we exhale, just seeing if we can send the breath to that space and release that tension. We let it go, watching it dissipate. So just one more breath here, breathing in. Exhale, just allowing the hands to come off the body if they're there, using them to help you start to sit up, using hands to draw those knees back in together. And then just coming back to a seated position wherever it may be. You can keep those eyes closed. And just pausing again. So taking the hands back to wherever they were at the start of practice, or on the knees or on the heart, the chest space. Noticing that breath again. So just drop that chin down towards the chest. Taking a big breath in through the nose. exhale out through the mouth, slowly fluttering open those eyes, just coming back to the space, back to the room. Thank you guys so much for practicing today.